Thank you everybody who's watching this recorded or who's live here with us today. Most of you probably know me by now. We've done quite a few quick bites earlier this year, and I'm happy to be back with the Zahn team to do another one here for you. So today we're going to be talking about our milling line and really kind of the ecosystem of Roland DG Shape. Over the years, a lot of our products are dry mills and our wet mill have been out for a few years now. You've seen probably my presentation or been in other presentations by some of my counterparts within the company talking about the specs of the mill, what they have, their capabilities and all that stuff. So I'm not going to drag you through that information, which I'm sure you've heard many times before. I feel like a lot of you are probably familiar with our equipment at this point. So really what we're going to focus on is a piece of equipment that comes from us and how it evolves and how we continue to develop that piece of equipment while it's already in your laboratory. Okay, so it's not a continuous every year we launch a new mill or piece of hardware itself. It's the workflows that we put into it and how these pieces of equipment have evolved, and from the time of their launch, a product offering as well that we have launched back in September. So again, thank you for joining, and we will get right into it here. Okay, most of you are familiar with our dry milling solution. Here on the screen, you see the 52D and the 52 DCI. These machines are our dry milling option. It is a 5-axis mill. Both of them have 15 tool slots. So if you're a 51 user, you might be familiar with the 10 tool slot. Now we have 15 tool slots. The reason for that addition is addition to strategy, changes in the strategy, and new tools that are being implemented within those strategies in your CAM software. So as the capabilities evolve and grow, you're going to have a need for new tool, right? Whether it's flat end tools, rapid reduction tools, and your standard tools that you're using on a day-to-day basis, which would be your ball end, diamond coated or carbide tools. So 15 tools is a very important feature to have now. Between the two machines, maybe you're a 52 owner and you're looking to grow your business. Now you've had the 52 for some time with those disc adapters, and you've grown your business, which is what we hope you all are doing and being successful. And now you're going to add a DCI for that overnight productivity feature. So those holders, you're going to have 6 included with each mill. They're interchangeable between each device. Your CAM software, let's say your Millbox software, for instance, keeps track of those letters and those barcodes, and you would be able to then swap them between either machine, making your machine as efficient and your workflow as efficient as possible. Okay. We're going to cover the unique workflows that go into these mills and some new things that we have available here in some of the next slides. But one of the things that we're really focusing on and making the end user like yourself aware of is the ease of use with this equipment. We don't want our solutions to be complex. We want them to be open and user-friendly. So if you have new workers who are using the equipment for the first time, spending some time with an experienced user, within a short period of time, whether it's a day or two, they should be able to operate these pieces of equipment on their own without any issues. Loading procedures are simple, tool replacement is simple, and partners like SimSystem who make Millbox keep our workflows simple and easy. So we really focus on ease of use and reducing that learning curve of new users, because if you have something complex where there's tons of clicks, tons of adjustments to be made in your CAM or with your mill itself, swapping fixtures in and out, that could slow down your production. You could be very efficient when you have your experienced tech on site, but when you make that transition into somebody new coming in, it can be very challenging. And we see that in every part of the laboratory, whether it's model and die. Man, back when people were waxing all the time, things change. So it's always a challenge to bring on a new unexperienced hire, and we want to help simplify that process. And last but not least is really the ROI friendliness of our complete equipment line. It's affordable. They're workhorses. If you go online and you go in forums, that's what people always say. These machines are workhorses. They run day in and day out. If you have something like a DCI, that machine can run 24 hours a day, load it up with pucks, and leave for the night, come in the morning to finish the work. So that overnight production with nobody on site really helps that ROI and for you to get the return on your investment as quickly as possible and continue to develop and grow your business. Okay, so one of the features for the 52D, I am speaking exclusively about the 52D here in the slide, is the C-clamp. So back, I would say early 2020 was when this new C-clamp was released, and it's something that everybody had been asking for. So the 51 had a fixture where it had the C-clamp, permanent fixture inside of the mill itself. So every time you put the puck in, you'd have to open the clamp, tighten the clamp. It was a little problematic. People complained, chipping of pucks, not cleaning the debris out was causing some issues, which is why we came up with the material adapters, streamline the swapping out of those pucks. So the 52D, we heard the calls of everybody on social media and everywhere else at the shows, how they wanted to utilize something called 90-degree milling. So 90-degree milling is something that was worked on through our partners at Sim System and Millbox. And it's utilizing that C-clamp that you see here in the picture. You can see that open side of the puck, which would come in very handy and would be very important for when you're doing full arch restorations, where you have gingiva meeting with the dentition itself, and you have extreme undercuts. You're spending a lot of time in your designing software to put in detail, whether it's texture, separation, all these anatomical details, whether it's on the tissue or on the tooth itself, or the CEJ where they actually meet. When you spend that time in the CAD software, you want that result to show in your final product that's coming out of the mill. And we want you to have that as well. So the C-clamp is used by a lot of people who are doing those full arch restorations. And what it's going to do is it's going to tilt the puck completely at an upright angle, and the spindle and the Z-axis and the milling burr are going to come straight down and mill away that whole open side. Okay. This update is available for current Millbox users if you are up to date on your maintenance fees. So something very important to do. I know it's painful to have to pay these fees all the time, but make sure you stay up to date so when new additions like this come out, new features like this come out, you're up to date and you can actually utilize them. So whenever you can, keep those maintenance fees paid. It continues the development of your CAM software for use with your mill. So it's important for those full arch cases, but as you see here in the middle picture, there can be instances with these adapters where your arch is so wide that you're not able to fit it inside of the adapter itself. The CAM software is going to error out. So when you have a case like that, maybe few and far between, but it's nice to have a solution. You can use that C-clamp adapter to relieve that area. So two features: milling detail in the anatomy and in the buckle area of a full arch, or when you have a very large case. Okay, so moving on, that feature, let me go back real quick. That feature is for the 52D. Now, I will be upfront and honest, there are ways to finagle the system for you to be able to utilize this in your DCI, but if you're going to go ahead and do that, make sure you're doing it properly. Ask questions to your reseller if you have a DCI on how to do this, and our message would be use this C-clamp in your 52D. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about some workflows with the DCI. I've already mentioned the 24-hour production, how you can load this machine up, go home for the night, come in to finish work. All right, so we have a variety of customers who are using this for mill denture bases. I have somebody up in Connecticut who's using it. They love the system. We're working with them constantly to find better ways to utilize this TRK system for our poured denture bases. The TRK system would allow you to take traditional denture acrylic, pour it into a silicone mold, polymerize it in a pressure pot, and then have your own pre-made puck. Sorry, not pre-made, self-poured puck. This is a little different than some of the pre-manufactured pucks that you buy already in that 90, 98, 98.5 disc, because now you're going to be able to pour on demand the shades that you want out of a traditional acrylic, which means it's going to be easy to reline or repair. It's going to work and function and have the aesthetics of your traditional denture acrylic. So all of your aesthetics are there. Great option for a crown and bridge laboratory who's looking to expand into some removable. If you have a technician who's well versed in full arch screw retained, with some training, some minor training from your reseller, you should be able to design denture bases very easily. Okay. You still need a denture technician to be able to take it through the entire process, but taking some of these workflow, digital takes a lot of the bandwidth off of your tech on the bench and brings it over to the mill, which is going to ensure that you're using your machine to its full capability. So really nice feature there. And here all the way on the right of the screen would be a completely finished denture with the TRK kit. So our denture base there is poured out of GC Nature Krill, portable, and the teeth are milled out of Harvest Temp Aesthetic. Harvest Temp Aesthetic is rated for 5 years as a denture tooth. So some good denture tooth properties there. And you can see that we have those really nice traditional denture aesthetics. So nice feature there. On the topic of removable, I will point out that a good friend of mine, Chris Schermerhorn, uses the DCI regularly, daily, and he's milling all types of partial frameworks, flexibles, appliances. He's been using this mill for probably close to a year now, and he has had incredible success. So if you know Chris and you have any questions for him about his success with the machine and those milled partial frameworks or appliances, he's a great resource for you, and he works very closely with Zahn as well. So we're happy to be working with Chris Sherman. So thanks, Chris. So next, I'm going to talk a little bit about the 42W. 42W is our 4-axis wet mill. We commonly see this purchased by laboratories who are doing a lot of waxing and pressing and are looking to move away from that. Instead of designing in a CAD software and milling out of wax and investing, now they can design in the CAD software and send it right over to them. So in about 20 to 30 minutes, based on the quality that you're choosing of anatomy or surface texture, you are able to have your final restoration in 20 to 30 minutes out of the 42W. Unique thing about the 42W, when you purchase it, it includes the CAM software with it. So we do bundle it with Millbox, which is very convenient. In this machine, we do have our powerful spindle inside of this. If you're familiar with the 42 that we put out, I'm sorry, the 4W that we put out, it had a different spindle in it. So after that mill was released, we went back to the drawing board and redesigned the spindle and brought that manufacturing process in-house. So it's a very reliable spindle, and we've had great success with it. Air consumption for this device is very low. It's only 44 PSI. So, if you have a bunch of other benches connected to your compressor, you're looking to tie this mill in. It's not invasive to your current ecosystem in your lab. It's not going to kill your compressor and shut down a workspace. So 44 PSI for the wet mill. And just for reference, the dry mills are 23 PSI. So very low air consumption with our devices. Which means no need for a dedicated compressor, no added expense for you to have to purchase a new compressor. Sure, most of you lab techs can sweat pipes at this point and connect it, but you don't have to hire a plumber to come in and connect it. So we want to keep your costs down and keep it user friendly. One of the great things about this machine that makes us unique to compare to some other mills like this in the market, we have 2 different tooling options. So we have our standard tools, which you can see here on the right. It's a coarser grit tool, which means it's going to cut faster, but your finish is going to be a little bit rougher, okay? So you're able to achieve about a 20-minute crown with those tools, or you can use the tool on the left, which is our high quality option. It's going to give you better surface quality, sharper margins, better anatomical detail in your restorations, and also better fit because it's going to be able to go inside and mill a higher definition inside that cavity. So that's some of the things that really make us unique with our 42. So the unique workflow that we launched the end of last summer, possibly the beginning of last summer, is the AK1 Kit. The AK1 Kit gives you the ability with your 42W to mill custom abutments in-house, okay? So by purchasing 2 different SKU numbers, you're going to be able to take your 42, bring your production of custom abutments in-house. You're probably outsourcing at this point. A lot of people don't have the capability of milling titanium in-house. So you're most likely outsourcing. You could purchase the AK1, and for roughly about $1,400 investment, you're going to be able to bring that production into your lab, which means faster turnaround times, no waiting 3 or 4 days for your custom abutment to be shipped to you. Design a split file in your CAD software, your crown and your titanium base, all in one design. While the crown is milling, the 42 is producing your custom abutment. The next morning, you have a sintered crown and custom abutment in the pan with the case, being stained and glazed by your technician and sent out the door. We're cutting significant time off that, which means you're going to bill more cases by the end of the month. So increase your productivity. New to our AK1 compatibility is the DES holder. So all the way on the left, you see the holders that you would need to hold the titanium blank. So we now have DES, we have NT, Medentica, and Geomedi. Those are the 4 options you would have to choose from for a holder inside of your device. Okay. So I talked about a new product offering that we're excited to offer to our current users and our resellers, and it is the Sol LCD printer. So Roland DG Shape, we are known for our milling equipment, but along with your milling equipment, where you're producing your crown and bridge cases every single day, in most cases you need to produce a model with that. A lot of you may be outsourcing today, or maybe you have a printer. We wanted to be able to offer and provide a print solution to pair with your milling device itself. So this printer runs off of LCD technology. LCD technology is known to be accurate. It's a powerful light source. It's going to be much faster than an SLA type printer, which takes more time. They're notorious. I don't think I'm telling anybody anything they don't know, that SLA is typically significantly slower than DLP or LCD. LCD, when compared to the DLP, is often is as fast, or in a lot of cases in our testing, we're actually able to print faster. But what we're seeing with the LCD technology is that build screen, or that build plate, we're getting uniform accuracy across that plate itself. Okay, so this printer is very fast and it's very accurate. All right. So our print speeds are going to be 4.5 centimeters per hour. I have one here at home that I've been working with quite a bit. So if you have questions about them, you can feel free to reach out to me. I've been printing a full build plate of models, which would be 6 quadrants. And we have a few different options for printing accuracies or resolutions. And at a medium type of accuracy, or micron, I am able to produce 6 of those quadrant models in roughly 43 minutes. So it's not bad. It's a quick printer, and in side-by-side comparisons of the same jobs and other printers, we're actually able to beat the print speeds of some other popular devices out in the market. Okay. With certain resins, we can achieve 49 microns. The unique thing about this printer, because of its LCD technology and the power of that LCD screen, we're actually able to print resins that are 385 to 405. Now, most printers out in the market are only going to give you one of those options. So it's going to limit the amount of options you have for resin choices. Just like our mills, use whatever zirconia you want, use the tools that you want. Hopefully you're buying them from Zahn. But we want to keep it open. That's important to us. Open systems, easy to use for the end user. Okay. Open architecture, again, I talked about the materials. There's currently over 100 pre-validated materials for this printer. The printer connects to a cloud, so every quarter when an update comes out, new materials will be added to that list. Okay, and if you ever have questions about what is available, what types of resins are compatible, you can visit our website, or you can reach out to me or a Zahn representative to get your questions answered. So the printer has 54 LEDs, which are pre-calibrated. And again, instant access to resin updates. As long as you're connected through the Wi-Fi in your laboratory, you will get those updates automatically. All right. So we'll move on to some print speeds. So print times, I think they're being a little cautious here with these print times. They're saying 60 minutes for models. And with a bottle of resin, you should expect 75 full arch models out of one bottle at a cost of $3. Okay. I'm seeing much faster times than that, so I think they're being modest here. But also you have to consider if you're doing quadrants, you would also double that production, okay? So we have a bunch of different workflows here. Surgical guides, I've seen surgical guides printed as fast as 34 minutes. Temporary crowns, obviously they're not very tall. Those are roughly 20 to 25 minutes. And we have a variety of other workflows available here. So if your laboratory is looking to bring your printed model production in-house, this is a great option for you. Or if you're looking to expand your product offering to your customer base, maybe you're currently not offering night guards as an option. Now you're accepting scans, intraoral scans. You're taking models from, pouring impressions. Now you have the ability to take a printer. You're designing your crown for a restoration. Why not upsell and sell that night guard to the dentist and then to the customer or the patient themselves? So it gives you the availability to just continue your outsourcing, bring everything in-house, increase your production times, and also generate revenue through new offerings. So what does this look like? So the sold printer comes as a bundle. It's not sold individually, but the nice thing about this is it comes turnkey. So when you make this purchase or you decide to purchase this printer, everything that you see here on the screen is included. You're going to get the printer itself. You're going to get the wash unit, which has 2 different baths inside of it. It has 2 almost like deep fryer baskets inside of it, which is very convenient for removing the materials or the print jobs. And it fits perfectly for your build plates to drop right into those tanks. So instead of pulling your build plate covered in resin out of the machine, trying to break off your prints, you can take the build plate with the prints on it, put it right into the cleaning unit itself, and start it. So the cleaning unit has a blender type effect, so it's going to create a vortex of your cleaning solution and pass that cleaning solution over and over the surfaces, which are going to give you nice, smooth, clean surfaces, as well as accurate fits. So you have that the wash unit there. Then you also have the Curie 2. The Curie 2, I want to be very clear about the fact that the Curie 2 is Class 2 approved. Class 2 approved means that it's approved for materials or solutions that are going to go into someone's mouth for over 30 days. Okay, now, just as we saw zirconia develop and change, when it first came out, it was very monolithic and opaque, and people really didn't jump on the bandwagon that quickly because of the aesthetics. Resins are going to evolve, and they're going to evolve quickly. The aesthetics are going to continue to improve. The strengths, all those characteristics are going to continue to get better and better. So that Class 2 certification for your curing unit assures that as these materials change and you have this device or this bundle, you're going to be able to continue to upgrade the types of material that you're using, okay? So all of that said, everything I talked about from the dry mills to the wet mills to the sold printer itself, it's going to give you one easy to use ecosystem that's going to be from one provider, which would be Roland or DG Shape. You're all comfortable and familiar with us as a hardware provider here in the US with support. We're here to help you. We want to make sure that all of our dental laboratories are out there thriving, or whether it's an in-house laboratory, which are becoming more popular, that you can be provided a complete, easy-to-use solution with great ROI with a product from us and our resellers. So something I didn't touch on that I just remembered was the ROI on the printer itself, the bundle. So we've broken down some average pricing for different types of restorations, whether it's not restorations, but objects like printed model, what it costs to outsource there, what a night guard is, what's being charged for a night guard in today's market. And the ROI on the printer, you're getting 3 bottles of resin with it. By the time that you've used all 3 of those bottles of resin, the return on that almost pays off the machine entirely. So as soon as you use those, your machine's almost entirely paid off. And now you're generating profit. Okay, so great ROI on the printer as well. As always, I talked about milling devices and printers. Through us, you're going to receive a 2-year warranty on any of the devices that I spoke about. So you're going to have a 2-year warranty from us once you register your device through our website. And we also offer extended warranties as well, up to 5 years. So you can add an additional 3 years on, making it a 5-year warranty. Okay. Something I want to be clear about, there's been some confusion recently in this space where people misconstrue the warranty. That 2-year warranty will cover one spindle for you. That's in the event that your spindle goes bad. Okay. If you're in the 0 hour of your 2-year warranty, if your spindle hasn't failed, unfortunately, we won't be able to provide you a free replacement spindle while your machine is still currently working. So I want to be clear about that. You know, it's a lot like taking your car that's under warranty to the dealer and asking for a free transmission when your car still works. You know, I wish we would have the ability to do that for you all, but you know, in that 2-year span, if your spindle does fail, we will replace it. Okay, just want to be clear about that. So that's all I have for you today. I'm happy to open this up to some Q&A, and my email is here. If you have any questions, you're always free to reach out to me, but you are also welcome to reach out. I encourage you to reach out to your Zahn reps or your Zahn tech support team.
Thank you so much, Ian. We do have a few questions. The first is, how do I add the AK1 workflow to my existing Millbox software? Okay.
Again, this is going to go back to maintenances. So if you purchased your 42W 2 years ago, with that purchase, you are covered for 2 years of updates. Once you're outside of that 2-year range, you will then have to work with Zahn and Sim Systems to make sure that you pay those yearly fees. As long as you are up to date on your fees, you can go to our website or you can contact Zahn support. They'll log on and they will help you update your software. When you update to the most current version, it will add the AK workflow for you. So a simple call to Zahn support will get the ball rolling, and we'll be able to help you there.
Okay, the next one is, my lab already has, hold on one second, the 51 and the 52 mils. They are fantastic. How would I go about purchasing the extended warranty option?
You could reach out to your Zahn sales rep. They do have that information for you. If you're still covered under warranty, you're still within that 2-year warranty on your 52s, you'd simply make the purchase. So contact your sales rep. If they have any questions about it, I can easily guide them through the process.
Okay, the next one is, how long until I need to replace the LCD screen in a Sol printer?
That's a very good question. So the LCD screen that is inside the printer when you receive it is rated for 1,000 print jobs, okay? So around 1,000 print jobs would be the time where you would have to replace that. The good thing is, inside of the box when you purchase that printer, you're getting one additional LCD screen. So just to dive a little bit deeper, it's kind of gonna take us down a little bit of a rabbit hole here on the printer, but inside the box that the machine is in, the machine will have one resin tray that holds the resin. Inside the box, you're going to be included an additional resin tray. Inside the printer will be the LCD screen that's already installed, and you will also receive a second LCD screen. So the LCD screens, again, rated for 1,000 print jobs, and we are providing you a backup. The replacement process is very simple. 4 screws removes a bracket. Another 4 removes the tray protecting the inner parts of the machine itself, and then it's a simple electrical clip. So you clip that, you pop the old LCD screen out, drop the new one in, attach the connection, and replace your the rest of your brackets to hold that LCD screen in place. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I missed on the printer that I can jump into here. I think that about covers it, but oh, the resin trays. Resin trays are also rated for 1,000 print jobs. Okay, so you have 2 of those. So set up with the machine, you're basically set up out of the box for 2,000 print jobs. There is a film on the bottom of the resin tray, which is user replaceable. I've done it myself as a learning experience just to see how it worked. It was difficult, not terribly difficult. You cut your piece of film to size. You replace the screws, you know, make sure you don't have any gaps. And in about 15 minutes, I was able to replace the film with no issue and no leaks.
Is the new Bago resin validated in the printer?
The bagel resin is in the validation process, and I believe with the next update, it is going to be available if it's not already. So if it's not available today, we are very, very close to having it.
Okay, the next question is, what should I expect from my return on my investment if I were to purchase a sole printer?
Okay, so that probably came in before I touched on that topic towards the end, but basically, like I said, we're including a bottle of temporary material, a bottle of model resin, and a bottle of night guard material. So between those 3 bottles, an average price for those types of restorations or offerings, by the time you use all 3 of those bottles, that should almost, if not, pay off your complete bundle that you purchased. And at that point, you're just generating profit and new revenue. So very quickly, you should be able to turn around that ROI.